Hey, I cannot believe what is happening. Why your dad could do that?
What? Is this Lisa?
You don't even save my number?
What for? We haven't contacted for years. After my dad had passed away, you married a new man. You have found a new gold mine to dig, right?
Hey, watch your mouth.
Am I saying wrongly?
Okay, I don't want to talk about this thing. I have landed at the airport with my husband. We have a lovely honeymoon in Hawaii.
I have no need to hear you boasting about.
Are you envy? That's so funny.
So, what is this call for? Never you just want to ask about.
Yes. You are smart. I want to talk about the house.
What? What house?
The house you are inherited from your father. How come you get the house all to yourself? It's unfair. This is not how things should be. It doesn't make any sense that you get to hog all the inheritance.
All? Do you lose your mind? You and your kids have taken a big amount of money. Is that not fair? And I have emphasized that. It's you who agreed with the provisions in my dad's will. Why you now come here and say it's unfair? What's going on all of a sudden? Is there something wrong?
I've been looking forward to the division of assets ever since your dad passed away. But then I've just come to find out that my son Tom doesn't get anything. Where's you took a big apartment in the city center? I can't believe you'd be so greedy. I don't think that's fair.
You and Tom have been receiving all cash? Nearly 2 millions. Not to mention that my dad bought you of numerous cars and luxurious things. You are still the owner of these assets after the will. Don't you forget that?
That doesn't count. Nothing compared to a house built in the city center. Cars and luxury bags or something else always devalue yearly. But how is the estate? Its price is going up and up. Your apartment's price rockets at 10 millions USD at this time. Who called this fair?
Not only do I think it's fair, I'm also certain that you are the one who said your total assets weren't worth less than my house. The amount of money that's been given to you during my dad's lifetime is kept on record. Are you being serious right now? Dad broke everything down for me before he passed. It seems to me that you asked him for your kids' educational expenses and the down payment of luxury hobby. With that being said, I don't think you have the right to complain.
Okay, but still.
I was aware of the exorbitant financial support you were getting from him. But I never desired to be the owner of the house I am living. I mean, I never be aware of the inheritance.
Are you kidding me? Listen, Mary! Since you're still single, I'm assuming there are many things you're not familiar with. But it costs a fortune to raise a child. Family-size houses are becoming more and more expensive. If I didn't have the down payment figured out, there's no way for my son to afford it.
What? Is that Tom is still single? And you are living with your new rich husband? Why do you need the house so much?
No, Mary, Tom is going to get married in late June.
Okay, you can spend 2 millions buying a house for your son.
Ha, no way. That is my money I got from my ex-husband. But my son gets nothing.
Wait. Lisa. You have to tell you that. You don't even know the law.
What law? I don't care. Both me and my son have the right to get inherited. I have taken my part, but there is nothing for my son.
By the law, Tom wasn't eligible to get inherited when my dad passed away. So, at that time you are the one guaranteeing him. The amount of 2 millions was for both you and Tom. You have the right to share him a part of money. But there is no way you can force me to give you my house. That is the law. I don't see what the problem is for me to take over my own dad's legacy. Given the total worth of your assets, you really should know better than to raise a stink right now.
That's all nonsense. What I am saying is nothing but the truth.
Are you being serious right now?
I won't deny the fact that your dad offered a significant financial help before he passed away. But I used all of it up on my kids. None of it went to me.
So what's wrong with leaving me something too, in spite of what he gave us when he was still alive?
Pardon me? I can't believe how dumb I was to think that his money wouldn't be counted as gifts. When in reality, I just ended up with nothing. How pathetic! What's worse is that his son and his wife don't have a single penny to their names, while the daughter gets to take it all.
What else do you want then? You must be out of your mind. Please get your act together.
Shut up! Just do the right thing and transfer the ownership of the house to us. Immediately!
What?
I'm telling you right now to disclaim your inheritance rights.
What are you talking about? Do you seriously have your heart set on extorting from me the house that my dad left me? Do not forget that you have married a rich man, and you are inherited 2 millions.
Living in a share house is not the best environment for my son's marriage. I agreed your dad's will at first, but I'm starting to doubt my decision since my son is getting married. And my neighborhood isn't safe now. In this neighborhood are just punks and want to be gangsters that aren't going anywhere in life. They're definitely not the type to be a good influence. Tom's fiancée is pregnant. I am so worried about my grandson. I don't want to see my grandson, who are going to an Ivy League university in the future, hanging out with these hooligans.
Is that the reason why you want to move?
I mean, of course. Not only is the security in your neighborhood a lot better, the people are better. They make more money and have better lives. I also heard the kids there go to private schools. It really is a house made for us.
But it's still my property. Sorry to say this to you, but please stop trying to get your hands on my house like this to me.
I'm not asking you to hand over the house for free. I'm thinking that you and my son's family could be roommates.
What? What do you mean roommates?
You're single anyways, Mary. Why not make your house look less empty? You know how your brother now works at the overseas branch of his company. He is in Germany most of the time. So I'm basically a single parent. I seriously feel like I'm about to have a meltdown soon with the stress. But if you can live under the same roof, you can help my son look after my grandson. Also, my son has more time to focus on his work. Just imagine how enjoyable life will be then. I heard that you are unemployed. What do you live in such a big house for?
Hey. Maybe you are insane now, Lisa.
What?
I am happy here Tim is about to be a dad. But I am not your family's housemaid. And I don't want to become your son's roommate either. I have no reason to help them with house chores and parenting.
Why you are so negative? You will be aunt-in-law in the future. Think positive for 1 second. Tom's wife is giving birth in just a few months. Wouldn't it be perfect to live in a new house by then? So since summer still hasn't ended yet, I'm thinking that right now is the perfect time to put everything into action.
Only in a few months?
Yes, that's right. I will tell Tom to start packing up things here. It's going to be a lot of boxes.
What? Stop now.
What's wrong, Mary? I thought you agree with my plan.
What? Did I literally say that? I have to tell you something?
What's this?
I am not unemployed, I am just having a gap time.
What's the difference?
Just because I am not working and stay at home doesn't mean your son can move in and share the house. Not to mention that I must be a housemaid if I take your deal. You are crossing the line so far, Mary. Never do I let you touch my house's floor. That's it. What the heck is going on, Lisa?
What?
Why are you and your mom moving in my house? My dad divided his assets fairly. Why are you guys so greedy? You and your mom should know there are some lines mustn't cross. That house is mine.
Calm down. Don't talk to me like that. At least you should have some respect. Plus, you are the one wanted me to move in.
Excuse me? Are you insane?
My mom told me that.
Your mom?
Yes, she told me you kept on saying how lonely it is to live in such a big house by yourself. So you asked Lisa to let me move in with you. These are her exact words.
That's nonsense. I never said those things. I never asked you and Lisa to come and live with me. I literally don't like Lisa. Your mom is a real gold digger. When my dad was still alive, he had to pay her bills. And when my dad was in hospital, she just focused on the inheritance. Maybe you were too young to know the truth at that time.
Are you being serious? What in the world is going on? There is nothing like what Mom told me. What's wrong with her?
What I want to say too. The reason Lisa gave was that your wife is having pregnant, and she is giving birth in months.
Yes, that is true. But what's wrong?
Also, you will need a house to live. Your son need the best environment to develop. Sorry to have to tell you this, but I refuse to let your wife and kids move into my house. So please make sure you let them know what I just said.
What? I have just bought an apartment near the city's park. This place is quite good, both the neighbors and the facilities.
What? Lisa never mentioned that to me. She made me think you and your wife had to live with her.
That's as ridiculous. Actually, my wife and Lisa don't get on well with each other. And that's why I have to move out.
Oh. That sounds weird. I know. This must be her plan to get my house. She tried to get access partly and take all the house afterwards.
Okay, I don't care what is happening between you and Lisa. But fine, I got what you said. You have made yourself clear. I'll let my mom know that you don't want to let anyone move in your house. After all, the house belongs to you. That is your own dad assets. My mom agreed with the will and she is acting irrationally now. You are the one have the right to make the final decision.
Thank you so much, Tom. Though we don't talk with each other regularly, I know you are the good person. I am scared in case you are on her side.
You know what? I'll ask Maya for the whole story right now. Anyway, sorry about all of this. I don't know what she is thinking.
No problem. I'm counting on you to enlighten everything. You are her own son, so she'll listen to you.
All right.
Mary, I forgot your house's address. Could you please give me? I have packed all boxes onto the truck and I am on the way to your house.
What? What are you talking about? Why do you need my address?
Come on, Mary. We just came to agreement with that thing. I am moving boxes of things to your house. My son is abroad and I help him to do that.
Are you being serious right now?
Yes, I am getting older and my memory fails sometimes.
I don't understand how you can just call moving services. You don't remember that I never agreed to let you live at my place, do you?
Yeah, that's why I'm asking for your permission right now.
Is this a joke or what?
To be honest, your opinion actually doesn't matter that much. You would have no choice but to let us live at your place by the time when we all arrive there.
Are you out of your mind?
Anyways, I'm looking forward to being roommates with you.
Stop this nonsense. You really need to pull yourself together. I told you more than once that I don't want you and your children here in my house. Well, guess what? I can't seem to get you to understand me, and I've had enough. I don't understand how in the world you think that it's okay to call it unfair. I inherit the property my own dad left me. You can't just move into someone else's house when you don't even have the owner's permission. You really need to get your head on straight. I'll repeat myself again. It's not possible for you to live at my house.
Don't be so mean. Where are my son gonna live if you refuse to accommodate us?
Stop acting, Lisa.
What?
I am telling the truth. Didn't Tom say anything with you? I know that Tom has bought an apartment recently. It was him who confirmed with me the neighbors and facilities around this place were good. Your son has already a place to live. Why you need to move in my house?
But.
You do not have to say. I know everything. My private detective discovered that you are burdening a huge loan. You have gambling so much lately.
Why do you know?
You do not dare to ask your husband because of the fear that he will kick you out. So you are planning to gradually take over my house, aren't you? And after that, you could sell it to pay out your loan.
You hired a detective?
Why couldn't I? Your action made me suspicious. Your own son is leaving you. I have all the right and evidence to force you stay out of my house.
Wait. Mary.
All of these things are karma you have to get. A greedy one never come to happy ending. Bye. My brother Tom immediately moved out the house after that. Subsequently, Lisa was kicked out by her new husband's house too. Her husband discovered her massive loan from gambling. He never want this kind of person in that house, of course. Lisa had nothing to take with her except for clothes. I have heard that Lisa is working for a cleaning company, working night shift cleaning hotel kitchens and bathrooms. She has to pay her bills. What a shame.
What the heck is going on? Mom told me that you're moving into my house next month. Are you being serious? We haven't contacted for years. Can't believe it.
Hi, May. It's been a while. Why don't you just take it easy? There is no need to lose your temp.
Alice, I'm serious now. Every month, I give Mom money for her allowances. And I know she spends half of that amount for you. But I never see a thank you from you. 4 years.
It's not important, sis. Did you hear that I'm getting married? I think Mom told you already.
What? How could I know? Mom just said you would move into my house. It's like an inform rather than asking.
Okay, so let me tell you. I and my fiancé can't afford a house in the city. I have a pregnant, too. So a small house isn't enough for us to live in. While the penthouse you are living is not yours. When Dad's still alive, he said this house is both for the first to get married. But I were studying at school when you moved in the house. Now, I am getting married. Why can't I move in? We're siblings.
What? Are you insane?
And I think you should move out and rent a smaller house. I need the privacy. Well, we decided that we want to move into the house this week instead of next month. So make sure that you pack all your belongings before we arrive.
You've got to be kidding me, right? You want me to move out my house by the end of this week? There's no way that I'll be able to get ready in time. You should have told me about it in advance.
It'll be fine. All you have to do is gather up your belongings. I really think that you should leave the house as soon as possible. You really need to socialize considering you've been stuck in that room ever since graduating high school. Move out and get your own place. It'll definitely be good for you. You maybe find a guy to date and invite him over. Although you'll probably have to work on your appearance, ha.
Are you making fun of me?
Of course, I am. It must be so embarrassing for you that your younger sister is getting married before you. You don't even have a boyfriend. I am so much further ahead of you. Anyway, you can use this as an opportunity to try to change your life for the better. It's definitely going to be better than being stuck in your room all day.
Shut up. Why should I listen to anything you have to say?
Oh, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings by telling you the truth. You're definitely not going to meet anyone at this rate. You stay inside all day and you can't even listen to the kind advice I gave. You are just totally hopeless.
Excuse me?
Well, no guy is ever going to choose a woman like you. There are so many other better women in the world. I'm sorry that I even tried to help you out. I forgot how hopeless you were and hurt your feelings instead. Well, try your best.
Hey, you better shut your mouth right now. You're taking this way too far. How could you say such a thing to me? I'm your older sister. I just can't take it, you know?
It's all the truth. So I'm not doing anything bad. You didn't even go to university and you still live at home after all these years. You don't have a boyfriend or any friends. You really are a total mess.
Do you know whose fault it is that I became like this?
What are you talking about?
This all happened because you were Mom's favorite child. She let you go to private school from middle school all the way to university and paid for all the tuition costs. As for me, she didn't even let me go to university. You know why? Because she had no money left to spend on me. The only option that I had was to start working straight out of high school.
Yeah, I really am her favorite child. I do get why she chose me. I can't believe that she spent all of the money in Dad's will on my tuition. That was so funny.
It was not funny at all. She should have thought much more carefully about how to spend that money. Ever since her dad died from that illness, she's been treating me even worse than before. Ever since you were born, I had to deal with getting the short end of the stick every single time. I've had enough of both of you.
What's the matter all of a sudden? Why were you so mad?
Isn't it obvious why I'm getting angry? I've been made fun of all my life by you. My life has been so miserable because of how she treated us so differently. I thought that I would try to at least do what I can. And that's why I got a job that I could do working remotely from home. You guys both made fun of me for my job as well? Don't you ever notice that why I can give Mom money every month? How could a lazy and useless person could do like me? Now I'm being told to move out the house. With no warning in advance. Anyone put in this situation is going to be angry.
Wait. Hold on a minute. I just can't stop laughing because this is too funny. You're actually having a mental breakdown because you're so angry. It's also kind of pathetic too. It's not something that you should get this angry about. Maybe you should leave the house and try relieving some stress. No one's going to want to be friends with you if you're always this angry.
It's so frustrating talking to you.
I don't know why you don't take advice from me. It's pretty obvious that I am the smarter one out of us. You only graduated from high school, whereas I graduated from a prestigious private university. I'm also so much more attractive than you. You're just fats. You should stop getting so angry and listen to what I say to you. You need to accept the reality.
I can't believe that you don't understand why I'm getting angry. It just feels like talking to a rock. In fact, I'd rather be talking to a rock than talking to you right now. I get that you're really looking down on me now. There's no point trying to tell you how I feel.
I'm just better than you in every aspect of life. I'm trying to feel sorry that you were born a loser. Stop making this so difficult and get out of the house. You pathetic loser. You're an embarrassment to the family.
Fine, I'll do exactly as you say. I've had enough now.
That's what you should. Hey. Are you there? I have something to ask. About the house.
What is this?
When you lived here, were you paying for the living expenses? Mom keeps asking me when I would be paying for the living expenses. She is really annoying.
Of course. I was paying for the living expenses. I think she would have kicked me out if I didn't pay.
Really? I didn't know about it. I thought that you were just playing games in your room all day. I assumed that you didn't help out with the living expenses at all.
You really think I'm like that? I was working a full-time job, so I always paid my share every single month.
I guess I should probably be paying for the living expenses as well then. I'll probably pay her the same amount that you paid her every month.
Were you really planning on moving in without paying any living fees?
Of course. I mean, the main reason that we're moving in is because we want to save up some money. I thought that she would be paying for all the living costs after I move in. I am her favorite child after all.
You really are a greedy person.
It's not a big deal. I'll put in a little bit more than what you were paying. I guess if I paid $400 a month, that would be good enough.
What? Are you serious? That's all that you're gonna pay?
Did you just say that's all to me? I bet your pathetic online job barely pays minimum wage. It must have been pretty rough having to pay $250 every single month for your living expenses. My husband says that paying around $400 would be about right. I'm sure that should be enough money for all of us to live comfortably. She can pay for the rest if it's needed. I'm sure that she's going to be thankful that I'm giving her more money than you.
That's not even close to what I was paying her. I gave her $1,700 every single month.
What did you just say? $1,700 a month? You're joking, right?
Not at all. I think that she's actually going to be shocked when she realizes that she's only going to get $400. She's going to have a fit and say that it's not possible to live on such a low budget.
Wait. Hold on a second. Are you really serious? That you paid her $1,700 a month is totally insane. It was all a joke.
Why would I make a joke like that to you? It's all the truth. You can ask Mom.
No way.
The exact amount of money I was paying her every month was $1,700 for my living expense and $1,000 for her allowances. I also paid all the money when any part of the house needs fixing. That house is getting pretty old now, and lots of things stop working. I paid $1,400 the other day to have some plumbing issues fixed.
Oh, that's so much money.
Not only that, I have to pay for the car parking as well.
What?
Then there's her birthday. She gets really furious if you don't give her a few $100s in cash. She wants to choose her own present, so she demands that she gets cash. Well, I'm sure that someone as amazing as you can figure something out. Anyway, try to do your best. Not to make her angry, okay? It's not something that you want to have to deal with.
Wait. Hold on. Everything that you just told me is ridiculous. All I wanted to do was come back home and live here for free. The main reason that we decided to move in was to save money. I'm definitely not going to be paying $1,700 just to live here. How am I meant to save any money if I pay that much for just living expenses? Are you really telling me that you were paying this much every single month? How did you even manage to do that?
Yeah. I really paid her that much. If not, she would get angry with me. I didn't have a choice. She'd even come to my room to interrupt my work if I didn't pay. I thought it would just be a lot easier and simpler if I just listened to her requests.
No way! This can't be true. It's not going how I planned for it to go at all. Why is the person like you able to pay so much money? $1,700 is even more expensive than what we have to pay when renting.
Oh. I thought you were brilliant and gorgeous. Why can that amount be a problem to you?
We both wanted to prioritize our private life and free time over money.
Okay, money isn't everything after all.
Why were you able to comfortably pay so much money every single month? That doesn't make any sense to me. You just stay inside your room all day. What do you even do in the room to make so much money?
Why is it so hard for you to understand? My job pays around $7,000. So that's why I was paying around $1,700 a month. It was less than half of what I earned, and I thought it was worth paying. Just so that she would leave me alone.
What? What did you just say? You earn $7,000 a month? Are you lying to me?
No, I'm serious.
You're making that much money every single month?
Yeah, I am. Why are you so surprised?
What do you do to make that much? I really don't understand how you're able to make so much more money than me. You didn't even get to go to university. There's no way you should be making that much money.
Well, I'm actually more surprised. You can't afford $1,700 a month for living expense in the city center, though you went to university. You always made fun of me. So I assumed that you had a really well-paid job. I thought that you would at least be making the same amount as I do.
Of course, I'm not making that much. I just started working recently. Don't underestimate how bad the job market is right now.
So well, I guess I'm lucky to find a great job a little while ago. Maybe it was good that I didn't go to university. I'm scheduled to get a pay raise soon.
What? Are you gonna get a raise?
Yeah, I'm working as a software engineer, and I do most of my work on my laptop at home.
What? You are a software engineer? But this job normally requires a bachelor degree.
No, this job is for people with good ability and knowledge. I can learn the knowledge by myself.
I really don't understand. How is someone like you able to learn the skills required for that kind of job? You're just a high school graduate. I am speechless now. Can't believe.
Yeah, I also have a term deposit of $1 million in the bank.
What? You are a millionaire?
I am not that rich, but you can call me like that.
Does Mom know about it?
Of course, she doesn't. If so, she would ask me for money.
Crazy! Why I don't know that my sister is a millionaire? If so, my life is much better. May, I am your little sister. I am really struggling with money now. Can you do me a favor?
What?
Yeah, actually I own a loan at the bank. This loan is for organizing my wedding. This loan is really annoyed me every month. Could you please pay that loan out for me? I'll never forget your generosity.
Huh, are you kidding me? Never. Now, I am out of this house. I have no responsibility for you and Mom. I have enough of you too. Bye. I have rented a house which is much more roomy and comfortable than the old one. Especially, I don't have to see their face anymore. Alice keeps calling me for help, but I always say no. My mom is really a greedy woman. Alice and I were inherited from my late father, but Mom requires that we have to pay the living expense and her allowances. At first, I agreed to all her requests because I know renting a house in a city is not that easy. But many problems emerges gradually. Why this mom exists on Earth? Now, I don't have any relationship with these two. But many problems emerges gradually.
In today's meeting, the teacher praised many of your classmates for their achievements and progressions recently. Just as I guessed, you were in her blacklist again. She complained so much about you and other 3 students for always be late for school, not completing homework. OMG, how embarrassed am I to have mischievous child like you.
Wait, you call me mischievous for not having good attitude at school?
Am I wrong, Emma? Just look at your older sister, Linda. I am very prideful whenever her teacher pay her so much compliments on her determination and progression. But you, what a shame.
Every time you get back from that school, you are always saying bad words to me. Forget about Linda. Have you ever recognized me for anything I did? Even once. Never.
You want me to praise you, but have you done anything that's meritorious? Since you were little, I have come to your class many times to receive thousands of complaints about your misbehaviors. So should I praise you for those things, huh?
You think I really want to be the irritating child? Have you ever given me gentle admonition like you did to Linda? Whenever we made mistakes, the first thing you did was yelling at me but not at her. And you gave her very considerate reminders?
Because Linda has a heart disease, she can't stand hearing harsh words.
That means I can?
When you were born, you was much stronger and healthier than Linda, so I have to be stricter with you, or else you will get out of my control.
Please don't use those words to ignore your excesses.
I'm just telling the truth, you're really stubborn, you know. I am also really tired of grumbling at you all the time. Please be mature as your sister and don't make me tired of you anymore.
But I am your daughter, too. Why do I have to be unequally treated? Have you ever thought about how I feel?
OMG, you're so annoying. Why should I care about how you feel? You think you are entitled to preferential treatment even though you are useless and mischievous?
I'm really surprised you can say these words to your own flesh and blood.
Oh, actually, I don't think of you as my daughter anyway. You're just a pathetic waste of space. And you, Sister Linda? She is the only one that can make me proud and reliable. How I wish she was an only child.
I'm getting hurtful, you know.
That how you choose to push me in this way?
Which way? This is the first time I've chosen to frankly talking to you after cowardly standing your insults all the time. Because Linda is unhealthy, so I handle all household chores for her. I am always willing to help you with other work in place of her. But you've always looked down on me and grumbled at me no matter what I did while only showing affection to my big sister. Is it because she knows how to satisfy and flatter you?
How could you blame me? Your sister is really smart and hardworking. And thanks to all of her determination, she is received by the medical school. And soon, she will manage to get a job as a doctor in a hospital. Not to mention, she's also tall, slim, and beautiful. She is my biggest pride. Now, look at yourself. You couldn't win against her in even one category.
I don't think you should be comparing us again each other like that, Mom. Anyway, don't forget that I still have good marks at all the exams at school and I will also enroll in Fashion University.
It's ridiculous for you to think one day you can be a model, smiley face. Fix your body first. You will never and ever pass, I swear. Don't try to surpass your big sister.
To be honest, it's amazing that she passed the medical school. I couldn't be happier for her. But maybe Linda will have a warped way of looking at world if you continue to raise her like that. I don't know if she can make it as a doctor, honestly. Oh, she's still an intern at the moment, so she hasn't been a doctor yet. So don't count your chickens before they hatch.
How dare you to insult my daughter like that? Why don't you think of yourself? If you do manage to eventually become a model one day, I'm sure the best you'll do with your degree will be working as small worker in some fashion company.
Aren't I your daughter? How cruel you are.
I don't need a waste of space like you around. Get out of this house and don't come back.
You are seriously kicking me out of my house?
That's right, I'm throwing you out. Why don't you go and find somewhere more suitable for you to live? You don't belong to this home anymore.
This place hasn't been a home for a long time.
It's a fine house. There's nothing wrong with it. Only you. You are the leftover of this house.
I really can't imagine one day I have to hear such horrible words from my mother.
And anyway, Linda will be a wealthy doctor. She'll buy us a new house before you know it. So we don't need a useless eyesore like you around taking up space. Your mere presence is also discomforting me.
It seems like your serious, smiley face. On top of treating me like a burden and constantly insulting me, you still want to throw me out of the house, huh?
The longer you stay here, the worse this house will become. You contribute nothing to this house.
That's really over the line. If you're going to be like that, then I don't think I can see you as my mother anymore.
That's fine, I don't think of you as my daughter anyway. From now on, you and I are strangers.
You can never take this back, you know?
It's time for this family to cut ties with you. Nothing else matters. Leave this house right now.
At the end of the day, you still choose to kick me out, smiley face.
So, are we in agreement? You'll leave, then?
I'll leave.
That's all your life will ever be, isn't it? A pitiful little existence, contributing nothing of value to the world. You just bring shame on the family if you stay here. Get out, already!
Let's look forward to what happens in the future. Karma will get back at you, Mom.
What are you going on about now?
Forget it. I'll grant your wish and leave. I'll come to the house and get a few essentials later this week. And then I'll be gone for good.
Don't ever come crawling back here. I sincerely hope I never see you again.
Got it. Goodbye, Mom. 8 years later.
Emma, how are you? Are you doing well these days?
Who is this?
Emma, where are you now? It's been so long since we last saw you. Why don't you come home for a visit? Don't you miss us? We've been missing you terribly.
Sorry, who are you?
Don't joke around. Isn't it obvious? It's your mother, here.
But I don't have mother for a long time. So I don't know who you might be talking about.
Emma, darling, don't be funny like that. Why would you say a thing like that? Well, how about you come home and say hi? We haven't seen you in ages.
Well, I'm really busy right now. And I don't have time to talk to stranger.
I really want to hear how you are doing and what you've been doing for the last 8 years. Did you end up becoming a model as your dream?
So what if I did? What does that matter?
Of course, I'm always care about how you're living.
Since you asked, I did end up becoming a model. But what does that have to do with you?
So you really are a model. I'm so happy for you. I know you could do it. You know, I always believe in you.
So what? You don't need to be that happy. We are strangers now, remember? You declared it 8 years ago.
I really don't remember I said so.
Anyway, don't beat around the bush. What do you want from me? Is it money?
Oh, please, Emma, don't be like that. Come home to us, it's been too long. You belong with us, we're family.
Why would I go back there to see you guys? Aren't you living happily with your pride? Your talented daughter, who is a reputable doctor, can do a lot for your living? Or has she quitted her dreaming career to be at home with you?
Huh? Why do you put it that way? And how do you know about Linda?
I've heard from Dad. I've heard from Dad. Oh, you're still in contact with him? I have no idea. You have no idea about anything, do you? You disowned me and threw me out of the house years ago, and now when running out of money, you want to get in touch again? What a strange coincidence.
Oh, don't misunderstand. It's not like that. But, since you mentioned it, how are you doing financially? Have you been earning a lot since you've become a model?
See? I wasn't wrong. That's the reason why you contacted me. If you want to know clearly about me, try searching my name on Google.
What are you talking about?
May I present, I've become a famous supermodel since you kicked me out. And as your favorite daughter, Linda, she ended up quitting while she was still a trainee doctor. She wasn't used to setting back in life, so she broke down as soon as things started to get tough. And now she lives at home with you and Dad and rarely leaves the houses, right? Half of that is your responsibility, though. I did warn you.
I expected too much from that girl. She turned out to be useless in the end. Now, I can't believe my second daughter can be so successful now. I'm so proud of you. And also, you look so beautiful recently. I hardly even recognize you.
Thanks to you throwing me out of the house, I can truly find myself and realize which place is more suitable for me to develop. And I have learned a lot from the friendly people out there, and since then, I've become a successful supermodel like I've always dreamt.
You see how effective my way was to let you grow up by yourself. It's time for you to come home and live with your family. Your dad has been weaker lately. I guess he doesn't have much time.
Why would I go back there? To help you with your debts?
I'm not sure, what are you talking about?
Dad figured it out recently. You splurged on money relying on my sister's future income as a doctor, didn't you? That's what he told me. But because she's not working anymore, so now you're stuck in debt and you have no way of paying it back. And you even used up all of Dad's savings.
Wait a minute, your dad knows all about the debt, then? OMG.
Yeah, he knows all about it. So, we've been preparing.
Preparing for what?
For him to come to live with me. I've been buying a new apartment for him in the center of the city. Meanwhile, he's been making moving preparations.
Oh, what a good girl. And what about me?
What about you? I have no idea. Let my big sister be in charge of you, then.
You can't say that to me. Emma, I'm your mother. Think about this.
Fancy that. The ugly, useless daughter who is the shame for the family, becoming a famous supermodel. Bet you didn't see that coming, huh?
Sorry if you feel that way, but I never meant to oppress you, dear. Just because my educational approach was maybe quite strict to you, but after all, I wanted to raise you properly and make sure you were disciplined well, unlike your sister.
That kind of excuse isn't going to work on me, frankly speaking. I'm not naive anymore. You can't just talk your way out of this. And besides, you and I are strangers now and I owe you nothing.
How can you say that to your own mother? Do you have no sympathy for your own family? Make space for me to come and live with you as well.
No, I won't. I'm really busy and I have no time to make space for a stranger to come and live in my home.
How dare you talk to me like that? So you intend to just throw me away, then? How wicked and ungrateful you are.
I'm sorry. Who was the one who threw me first? You're the one who broke that bone, not me. And what about Linda? I noticed that you didn't ask me to make space for her. Now you cannot take any advantages from Linda, so you just want to get rid of her? You never think about anyone but yourself.
You can't say these things to your mother. I didn't raise you to behave like this.
Now, you feel what I felt? You never seemed to care about anything you said to me when I was small. You pretty much verbally abused me my whole life.
Why do you always live with the things in the past? Let's leave it behind and live for the future.
Yeah, you're right.
So, now you understand?
Yeah. I understand that you never feel sorry for what cruel things you did to me in the past, even now. You seem innocent when facing the child you hate most. We can't get back together ever again since that day. By the way, since Dad knows about your debt, now he's planning to divorce you. You should start looking for a job soon.
What? He can't divorce me, the silly and useless man.
You even look down on your husband. Who else can you respect in this world? Well, let's prepare. Once Dad divorces you, you have to plan to repay your own debt. Aren't you going to take care of Linda?
Why do I have to do so?
Who else is there? I mean, it's your fault that she ended up like this. Take responsibility for your actions.
But I'm in my 60s now. How am I supposed to go out and get a job?
Then I guess Linda will have to get one instead. Talk to her about it. And I made up my mind to separate from you 8 years ago.
Why are you behaving like this? We're family.
Please don't ever say a word, family, to me again. It's cringe. I was having a tough time back then, you know? At that time, I couldn't deal with the stress of being abused by you at home and trying to follow my dream of being a model. And there was only Dad who's secretly giving me money to survive. Where were you at that moment? You didn't even care whether I died or not. You don't deserve to call yourself a mother. Because of my past was body shaming by own mother, I decided to help people be confident and be proud of their own body. So I put everything I had into studying, and thanks to that effort, I can reach my dream. So now, it's time for me to have responsibility to my dad. And from now on, I don't want to have any relation with you. Goodbye. Forever, Mom. Emma completed buying the apartment and brought her dad to live with her. Her mom was still stuck with her debt and had to hide from the creditors. She was said to move to the other place on the outskirt to find for a part-time job. Emma's big sister, Linda, was jobless and started to be addicted to alcohol. She and her mother always have quarrels. Once, her mother can't stand living in the life of hardship and humiliation, she decided to commit suicide.
Hey, Ms. Thompson, can I have a moment of your precious time?
What is it now, Lily? Can't you see I'm busy trying to get through this pile of papers?
I know. I just want to ask you something. Have you ever wondered why no one takes you seriously?
Lily, I don't have time for your games. I have a job to do, unlike you.
Oh? The job of being the most boring, ineffective teacher in the history of education? It must be tough. Right?
You think you're so clever, don't you? Constantly disrupting my class, making it impossible for anyone to learn. You're the reason no one takes me seriously.
Oh, come on, Ms. Thompson. I'm just trying to liven things up around here. I must say, your classes are like watching paint dry?
You think it's fun to make my life miserable? You have no idea what it's like to be on the receiving end of constant disrespect and humiliation.
Ha ha ha. You really don't get it, do you? It's not about you, Ms. Thompson. It's about the power I feel when I can make your life miserable. You. are weak, and I enjoy exploiting that weakness. Hey, have you ever stopped considering why you're such a failure as a teacher?
Failure? How could you say such a word to me? Just another cruel remark to add to the countless others that have plagued my existence.
It's not just my opinion, Ms. Thompson, it's the general consensus. Your teaching methods are archaic, and your inability to command respect is laughable.
Laughable? You have no idea what it feels like to stand in front of a classroom, day after day, facing a barrage of insults and mockery. Your words cut deeper than you can ever comprehend.
Maybe? If you actually taught us something worth learning, we wouldn't mock you. But, no, you choose to regurgitate the same lifeless lessons year after year.
It's not as simple as you make it out to be, Lily. The system is against me, the expectations suffocate my creativity. I'm suffocating, can't you see?
Oh. Poor Ms. Thompson. The eternal victim. Ha ha ha. Well, maybe it's time you stopped wallowing in self-pity and started fighting back? Show us that you have a spine.
Fighting back? Against what? Your endless tide of disrespect? Every day, a piece of my soul crumbles away, and you contribute to its demise.
You know what, Ms. Thompson? You're right. Maybe you're just not cut out for this. Your weakness is like an open invitation for us to trample all over you.
Weakness? You think I'm weak? I chose this profession to make a difference, to shape young minds. But all I've become is a punching bag for your amusement.
And what difference have you made, Ms. Thompson? Besides being a cautionary tale of how not to be a teacher, your legacy will be one of failure and incompetence.
Stop. Just stop. Your words, they cut like knives. Do you take pleasure in tearing down those who are already broken?
Pleasure? Not really. But I think you need to be woken up from your self-imposed slumber. Maybe then you'll realize the damage you're causing.
Damage. Yes, my damage is having a student like you.
So what you gonna do to me? Are you going to cry and call my parents and then kick me out of the school? Do you really have the courage to do that? Well, honestly, I think the person who really have to go is you. We deserve better. We deserve a teacher who inspires us, who challenges us to reach our full potential. Not being coward like you.
That's enough. We'll talk about this later. Now it's time for class.
Well, it isn't Miss Thompson, the master of mediocrity? You haven't gone yet?
Spare me your insults, Lily. I'm here to teach, not to engage in this pointless banter. And you are nothing that I have to obey.
Pointless banter? Oh, no, Ms. Thompson, this is far from pointless. I'm simply reminding you of your inadequacy as an educator.
I had enough of your relentless mockery and disrespect. It's time you learn some manners and show me the respect I deserve.
Respect is earned, Ms. Thompson. And so far, you've done nothing to earn it.
You think you're so clever, don't you? But all you do is disrupt the class and hinder the learning experience for others.
Don't say that. Everyone is working so hard, don't you see?
Maybe you don't. Because you don't really care about our studying, right? Do you have any idea what it feels like to be constantly belittled, to dread coming to work every day?
It's not my responsibility to care about your feelings. Ms. Thompson, you're the one who chose this profession, yet you're incapable of commanding any respect.
I chose this profession to make a difference, to inspire young minds. But instead, I find myself dealing with a disrespectful student who takes pleasure in tormenting me.
Tormenting you? That's a bit dramatic, don't you think? I'm just highlighting your incompetence as an educator. Don't you ever say you're welcome to receive our suggestions on your teaching? Yeah, I've already given them to you. Sincerely. But frankly speaking, if you weren't so pitiful, I wouldn't have to stoop to such measures.
Stooping to such measures? Is that how you justify your behavior? You're not enlightening anyone. You're simply fueling a toxic environment where learning becomes impossible.
Toxic environment? How ridiculous. Well, perhaps if you were more engaging, if you actually cared about your students, we wouldn't resort to these tactics. You've brought this upon yourself, Ms. Thompson.
I've tried to connect with you and the other students, Lily, but it's difficult when all I receive in return is mockery and disdain.
Trying? Your feeble attempts are laughable, Ms. Thompson.
Your words may sting, but they won't break me. I will continue to do my best to provide you with an education, regardless of the obstacles you throw my way.
We'll see about that, Ms. Thompson. I thrive on challenges, and I won't rest until you understand the consequences of your ineptitude. Consider this a warning.
Few days later, Miss Thompson decides to talk to the principal. I can't believe I have to deal with that child again today.
What happened this time, Miss Thompson?
Recently, I have been facing my fear at school. She is my mischievous student. Almost every day, she's been insulting me constantly, making my classroom a living nightmare. I don't know how much more I can take.
Insulting you? That's completely unacceptable. We need to address this immediately. Have you spoken to her parents?
I haven't because I thought I could handle it. But I was wrong. She is beyond her limit now. Her behavior, it's affecting the entire class. The other students are losing focus, and I fear their education is suffering because of her constant disruptions.
We can't let this bad behavior continue. It's time to involve the parents more seriously. I'll schedule a meeting with them to discuss the severity of the situation.
Thank you, Principal Anderson. I hope they finally understand the consequences of their child's actions.
It's been an uphill battle trying to maintain a positive learning environment. I assure you, Ms. Thompson, we'll do everything we can to resolve this issue. It's not fair to you or the other students to endure such disrespect. We'll get through this together.
Several days later, the meeting with the parents takes place.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Brown. Thank you for coming in today. I wanted to discuss a matter concerning your daughter, Lily.
What's this all about, teacher? We're busy people, you know?
I understand, Mrs. Brown. The reason I asked you to come in is because Lily has been engaging in disruptive behavior in class. Over the past few weeks, your daughter has been consistently insulting me, disrupting the class, and undermining my authority.
That's absurd. Our Lily would never do such a thing. You must be mistaken.
I assure you, she has said such horrible things to me almost every day she goes to class.
Oh, come on. She's just a child. Kids say things sometimes. It's not a big deal.
It is a big deal when her words cause harm to me and her classmates. It's affecting their learning environment and their well-being.
We must emphasize the seriousness of this situation. Insulting and disrespecting a teacher is not acceptable behavior under any circumstances.
It's essential that you address this issue with your daughter.
Look, she's just being playful. It's all harmless teasing. She's a 15-year-old kid. She doesn't mean any harm.
Excuse me? Harmless teasing? You say that calling me by my name, ridiculing my teaching methods, and belittling other students is far from harmless. Is it harmless teasing? It's deeply hurtful and creates a hostile environment.
Well, maybe, if you were a better teacher, she wouldn't feel the need to act out.
Mrs. Brown, that is an unfair accusation. Ms. Thompson is a highly qualified and dedicated teacher. Your daughter's behavior is not a reflection of her teaching ability.
Excuse me, Mrs. Brown, but I find your accusation quite offensive. I assure you, I have years of experience and a track record of success with my teaching methods. Your daughter's behavior is solely her responsibility, and it's time you accept that fact.
Don't you dare blame our daughter. She's an angel at home. It's your lousy teaching that's driving her to act out in your pathetic excuse for a classroom.
Your daughter's behavior has been disruptive and disrespectful towards both me and her classmates. It's unacceptable, and I won't tolerate such behavior in my classroom. Instead of pointing fingers, perhaps you should take some responsibility for her actions.
How dare you accuse us of being irresponsible parents? We've raised her properly, unlike you, who clearly can't handle a classroom full of children. Maybe you need to attend a teaching workshop or two.
I assure you, I've attended numerous professional development workshops to improve my teaching skills. However, it seems that your daughter lacks the discipline and respect that should have been instilled at home. I expect your cooperation in addressing this issue.
We don't need your condescending lectures on parenting. Thank you very much. We demand that you figure out a way to control our daughter's behavior, or we'll be reporting you to the school board.
Threats won't solve this problem, Mrs. Brown. I'm doing everything in my power to manage the classroom effectively, but your daughter's behavior requires your involvement as well. It's time for you to step up as parents.
We've had enough of your excuses and blaming us for your failures. We demand that you find a solution, or we'll make sure you regret the day you ever crossed paths with our family.
Your aggressive and disrespectful attitude only reinforces the behavior your daughter is exhibiting. It's clear where she gets it from. I'll be documenting our conversation and your threats. Rest assured, I'll be involving the school administration to address this matter appropriately.
Go ahead and play your little power games, but we won't back down. Our lawyer will be in touch, and we'll see who comes out on top.
If you choose to involve legal action, I will defend my professionalism and my commitment to providing a safe and conducive learning environment. It's regrettable that we couldn't find common ground for the sake of your daughter's education.
Okay, please calm down, Mrs. Brown. Let's calmly find the solution to this serious issue.
We don't have anything to say to that teacher. How could she say those words to my little daughter? I don't want to negotiate anymore. My child is innocent, and all she said was a lie.
The next day, Ms. Thompson enters the classroom, trying to maintain composure. Good morning, class. Let's settle down and start the day, shall we?
Oh great, here comes Ms. Perfect. Can't wait to see you today.
Sarah, we had a meeting yesterday with your parents to address your disrespectful behavior. I was hoping we could move forward and have a more respectful and productive day.
I know. They told me.
What did they say to you?
They punish me, ground me, and take away my privileges.
They really did that to you?
I can't believe you are easily deceived. Ha ha ha. Oh, did you really think I would change just because Mommy and Daddy had a little chat with you? Newsflash, Ms. Thompson, they couldn't care less about what you said about me.
Well, it turns out that both you and your parents behave in that way. Disrespecting me won't bring you any benefits, and it certainly won't make your education any easier.
Whatever. I'm not here to learn from you. I'm just here to have a good time and show everyone how much of a joke you are.
Your constant disrespect and attempts to belittle me are not going to discourage me from fulfilling my duty as your teacher. My goal is to fix your bad behavior, even if you don't appreciate it right now.
Oh, fix my behavior? I'm not a living robot, and not easily be fixed by you, which...
It seems that there is no way to change your attitude anymore. Alright, let's wait for the final announcement from the school. It's clear that we're unable to find a constructive resolution to this issue. Given the gravity of your daughter's behavior, and your refusal to take responsibility for her actions, I believe it's in the best interest of the entire school community to consider the possibility of expulsion.
Expulsion? You can't be serious. This is an outrageous overreaction on your part. Our daughter has a right to an education, and we won't allow you to take that away from her.
The severity and frequency of your daughter's disruptive behavior have created an environment that is detrimental to the learning experience of her classmates. The school has a duty to ensure a safe and productive learning environment for all students. Expulsion may be necessary to protect the rights of the majority.
This is completely unfair. Our daughter is just going through a phase, and you want to throw her out of school? We won't stand for this.
I understand that you may perceive it as unfair, but it's important to acknowledge the impact your daughter's actions have on me and other students. Expulsion is a last resort to maintain a conducive learning environment. Moreover, this decision for expulsion was not made solely by me. It involved a thorough investigation by the school administration, taking into account witness testimonies, documented incidents, and discussions with all parties involved.
You're just trying to get rid of her because you can't handle her. We won't let you ruin his future like this.
I assure you, my intention is not to ruin anyone's future. However, it's my responsibility to ensure a polite and effective learning environment for all students. Your daughter's behavior has shown a consistent pattern of disrespect and disruption that cannot be ignored.
We won't give up without a fight. We'll take this matter to the board, the superintendent, and even the media if we have to. We'll make sure the whole world knows how unjustly our daughter is being treated.
If you choose to escalate the situation further, that is within your rights. However, I stand by my decision and my dedication to the good behavior of the entire student. The school is where we, the teachers, devote to the students' progression in learning, and in return, they should have appropriate behavior towards us. But your daughter, she goes against all the school discipline, and shows no respect to me, her teacher. So, I will follow the school's decision and respect all your complaints. I will cooperate fully with any investigations or inquiries that may arise.
You'll regret the day you ever decided to mess with our family. We won't rest until justice is served.
I understand that emotions are running high, but I hope you will reconsider your perspective and recognize the importance of addressing your daughter's behavior in a way that allows her to grow and learn from her mistakes. Expulsion is not meant to be punitive, but rather to create an opportunity for her to find a more suitable educational environment. After being expelled, Lily applied to other high schools. However, they turned her down because of her inappropriate behavior with her old teacher. Lily and her parents had to come and apologize to Ms. Thompson and promise to change their attitude in the future. They had to move to another city to seek a place to learn, but it seemed very hard because her mistake was so severe. Luckily, she was received to learn in a small school in the suburb. From that moment on, she started to behave nicely and respectfully toward everyone.